9 streams in 8 different languages, I would guess. Or 8 streams in 7 different languages. Very exciting. No Dutch stream. Yeah, I mean that's a tough one, guys. What can I say? The demand for the Dutch StarCraft just isn't there. Get Roddy on that, you know. Maybe I can do a bit of Dutch casting. Hallo, ik ben Wardy. Ik kan een beetje Nederlands spreken. In de... Okay, I have no idea how to say top left corner. In the top left corner. Yeah, I don't know. Team Liquid's uThermal. In the top left-hand side, in the top right, is going to be our red Zerg. Rattata, as we get this going. What's up, Joel SC2? Thank you so much for the 2-1-3 sub. Welcome back. uThermal actually taught me a good amount of the Dutch that I know, and one of the things he taught me, so this is a dumb story, quite frankly, but one of the things he taught me was when I first went to the Netherlands, I went to the AT LAN. He was part of a team called AT Gaming, and they had a LAN event in, oh god, I think it was in a place called Zoetermeer, and you know, this is basically in the middle of freaking nowhere. So I asked him all these things before I went. I was like, hey, you know, do I need to know anything? Do I need to, you know where I'm going? Is it going to be obvious which train to get on and stuff? He was like, yeah, no problem. You'll be fine. Yada, yada, yada. He's like, look, I was like, you know, do I need to know to say anything? He's like, everyone speaks English, but there's one thing which I think you should learn to know. And I was like, okay, what is it? He's like, you probably shouldn't say it to anyone, but just in case you ever feel the need to insult someone, then you can go up to someone and say, ik denk dat u bel behoefte heeft aan een pepermuntje. That wasn't the correct pronunciation. Ik denk dat u wel behoefte heeft aan een pepermuntje. It's been a while since I've said it, okay, guys? Which basically, long story short, is I think you might require a peppermint. So you're basically in a very long-winded way saying I think you have bad breath. So that was the beginning of my Dutch training, and then I learned all sorts of things like I learned how to say 99, which is really hard, like 99, because you gotta go a lot. I learned to say je bent zo dum als een baksteen. You're as dumb as a brick. Very useful when you're talking to StarCraft players in Dutch. Je bent zo dum als een ezel. You're as dumb as a donkey, just in case you want to mix it up from the brick. Maybe, you know, someone took a level up. They actually didn't play Protoss, they played Zerg. Then you can call them a donkey instead of just a brick. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I really learned a lot of good Dutch for the most part. So yeah, that was my I mean, I went to the Netherlands a lot in a short period of time. I say a short period of time, over a couple of years, and that's why I learned for some reason more Dutch than pretty much anyone speaks apart from Dutch people. All right, welcome to Stargazers, guys. Pocket expansions, but blocked by mineral patches, and that means that the Terran will probably want to expand team. That's what uThermal is setting up to do already. Looking to take that out to the other side, so just getting that set up right away. And seeing where this is gonna go. Marines unloading as we see the first drop already coming across the map. So a little group of Marines going to come in. The Hellions are going to run into the third base at the same time as this. So looking for that multi-pronged aggression that uThermal is so good at. He's already going to start finding a few drones here. So a couple of drones already going down. 4 workers down. He actually loses the medevac up on the top side. But the Marines are still alive. And the Marines still alive is a problem because drones will continue to die off. And yeah, just killing the medevac is not enough of a defense. So this gets a little bit scrappy pretty much straight away. This gets real messy real quick. I'm just going to be seeing these Marines continuing through for the Spore Crawler now as well. So working through that at the moment. And as we continue on, just going to be seeing, I mean, this is honestly kind of bad though. I mean, this is 12 drones that go down. Huge damage from uThermal in the early stages. Absolutely massive amounts of damage dealt there. That was way more than I think was really expected to happen. So big bit of damage done early in game. What about how to say friends plus Wardy? Oh, I actually did learn how to say this one. It's called screw you, Horsem. I hate your guts and your. just want to be friends, and he's just so mean to me, guys. I just want to be friends. Oh god. If you guys didn't see, in Hossum's new team announcement, he has like a scrapbook of all his memories, and on one page there's a picture of me, him, Irene, and like a few other guys, Drogo, and a couple of UK guys in Valencia, and the caption is "Friends plus Wardy." Friends plus Wardy. Which honestly, like, in a way, maybe I should be proud. You know, I made it into a player's team announcement video. Like, that's cool, no? No? Maybe? I mean enough to him that he goes out of his way to put me on the right track sometime, I guess. You know what? I know you guys probably don't think it's much, but I'll take it. You know, I'll take what you can get with Hossum. He's a ferocious kind of man if you let him be. All right, a few Hellions continuing around on the map here at the moment as we maybe I'm more than friends. Yeah, maybe I'm a lover, right? Yes, that must be it. We figured it out, guys. Good job, team. I'm proud of us. This is not an easy question to get an answer to, but we've got it now. Good job. So proud of us all. Marines unloading up on this top side, so they're going to be coming in and getting set up over there. The few Hellions still out down on the bottom side as well. Just waiting for their opportunity as we stem forward, and a little bit of creep is going to get cleaned out. So, yeah, looking okay across the board at the moment. Missile turret firing away, and Mutas will take a little bit of damage there. So a bit of damage being done, just going to be seeing Mutas not able to do much. I don't mind the Mutas on the map considering the fact it's close by air, right? So that might give the Mutas some opportunity, and that base that uThermal is taking as his third. I mean, look at this, guys. uThermal is mining out this location now, but what a great defendable set of bases. 3 bases that are very difficult to run by into. And uThermal can now focus on pushing through up this side of the map, or at least in over here. The one thing I will say is that it's not a short map. It's actually a pretty sizable map, this one. Even when you take this forward base as uThermal, getting in on top of one of the bases of his opponent here might be a little bit tough. So that's something we'll watch and wait and see, basically. We'll see what comes out of it as we see our Marines tank starting to press across to the other side of the map. Let's see how this first push goes. Now, there is going to be the Mutalists on the other side. They will get the depots. They're going to open up this attack into the natural. uThermal is rallying units there. He's going to drop a mule down to try and mine out these minerals, but that won't be enough. You need 2 trips, so a few SCVs along with this. There's 1 SCV. It's 40 minerals, guys. So far, the math has not been good enough to actually mine through the mineral wall. But he'll get there eventually. Hellbats on the bottom side are going to find some drones. They come back in. Oh, you got 6 of them. It's not every day you actually see Hellbats getting kills. The mule is going to come back over. Finish up mining here, and then the SC... I mean, that's a gap at least, so you can slow-mo your way up into this base. I'm not sure if you really want to walk up there as slowly as that, but I suppose we're about to find out. Oh, Lings and Mutas and Banelings are going to come running in at the same time, so in they go as Marines going to have to fall back a little bit, and, well, he's not even going to get a chance to get up to that high ground because of this fight being taking place from Rattata. uThermal going to stand and fight as best he can. Just now going to be seeing the Mutas back up the top side as well, so away they go. Just going to be seeing them peeling off to the right side a little, and uThermal's still going to press through. He really wants to just take control of this position. Eventually, I imagine this 4th base here as well. Then you've got a really nice 4-base setup. This kind of, that's almost like a square of bases, right? And it just means it's very compact. It's not very spread out, so it's an easy group of bases to defend eventually. Well, Rattata is absolutely correct in thinking to just counterattack through and to basically play into the natural expansion, because that is the weak point. Yes, it's walled off nicely, but it's still going to be bustable, right? And you can still deal damage there. uThermal realizes what's going on, starts to pull back against it. Does get plenty of warning about what's happening. We'll see some Marines here to start working through the initial banes. Depots will raise on the high ground, so access to the main must be busted through. And that's exactly what will happen as we let the tanks do some damage here as well. These Banes continue to drop. The engineering base in the front go down. That means +3 attack is denied, and no 3-3 upgrades will continue through, so uThermal will not be able to continue his upgrade lead. The engineering bay blocks here as well to make this position really tough to break into on the top, but this position isn't doing anything for you. It'd be different if this was actually, making progress. But what are we actually doing? We're just kind of sat here waiting. And nothing is really going on. Nothing is really going on at all. He's out the side. A couple of SUVs go down. Missile turret is going to get picked off as well. So missile turret falls, and these Marines continue to kite backwards. Fan lanes will get cleaned out, and the rest of these Marines moving through going to go and grab a hatchery at the front. So this will go down. It looks as though this hatch will fall. Marines will have to stand backwards, pull back a little bit. All of these Banelings taking a ton of damage, going down as well. I'm just going to be seeing this army of uThermal now is in a bit of a better position. So he set himself up, he took his time, and now he's making this attack happen. Staying where he was wasn't going to do much, but moving forward, this is where the opportunity arises. And now he's basically sieging the natural of his opponent. So that pathway out of the natural is sieged. It's going to be tough. He sees the mutas coming with the sensor tower, which then gets picked off. There's a few more Lings and Banes try and run their way around it, try to do something. Attempt at the gold base on the bottom of the map. If uThermal is so tucked away in his top left corner, then obviously the gold base is the way to go. uThermal actually lost the base on the natural expansion. I didn't realize that, so losing the orbital kind of sucks, but he's killing a lot of the mutas, and the Ling Bane count is just not there. In fact, the Baneling count is non-existent, so while uThermal loses the base, he will just destroy Rattata in every other way, and uThermal will get the 1-0 lead here in this best of 3. Singularity will be our map. Get this started on up. WardiTV Team Liquid Map Contest Tournament number 8. The 16th edition of the TLMC. I'm so happy to be here bringing you guys the games today. As we go into the bottom right corner to start off game number 2. Down one map will be our red Zerg player from Good Game Gaming. This is Rattata. Taking on the Blue Terran in the top left from Team Liquid, it is uThermal. Alright then, map number 2. Kick this off and get this underway. Let's see what happens in this second game here as we get set up and rolling. For the moment. Singularity. Let's have a look around the map. Like I say, we've got these spinning balls. Is one of the main points of interest. It's actually kind of cool. And I think they're kind of cool anyways. Maybe not everyone thinks they're kind of cool, but I actually think they're kind of cool. So yeah, they're kind of cool, and I thought they were kind of eye-catching especially. I mean, it definitely makes you remember the map, right? It makes the map stand out. It's like, Singularity, which one's that again? The one with the gold base in the corner? Oh, it's not a gold base in the corner. No, it's just a normal base in each corner. Oh, spinning ball map! Yes, right, that one, you know? No other map has a spinning balls, but every other map has bases, right? I mean, that's definitely one way to to get the map noticed, as we do have a lone Marine out into reactor, so there's a little bit of pool first action is going to come through and do rather decently to begin with. So doing okay over there. Just going to get setting up at the moment as we continue through. Just going to be having the, well, just a lot of little bits and pieces going on with the Lings obviously falling back home. uThermal having to cancel up his CC is a major loss in the early game. I mean, that's 100 resources lost, but a major delay. So this works out for Rattata. He makes a few Lings early, and he's, I mean, just 6 Lings, and he gets the cancel because it's a Marine into a Reactor. And now uThermal has to play from that little bit behind from where he originally wanted to be, so that's going to hurt a lot. My god, what do you start so early, all hungover across the pond? Well, I mean, I just gotta start at a time that's suitable for the Korean players as well, you know? That's all. I appreciate it can be early, though. What's up, Guitar King? Happy belated birthday. Sounds like you might not think you're celebrating, but you are now. Congratulations. Congratulations, you've been nominated to celebrate your birthday. Yes, I know, look at you. Isn't that exciting? Just gonna be seeing our Roach Roaring coming up here and getting that established early on. This group of Marines still heading out down to the south side and gonna just be moving across to try and get some damage done. The few Hellions coming up to the top side as well, so away they go. And just a little bit of motion here and there, figuring out what direction everyone's going in, and everyone just kind of seeing what they want to try and get done here. Let's see, a few Marines fighting, and a little bit of damage being done. Marines going to drop off, but with a few Roaches here, I'm going to very quickly be able to turn that around. That will not make too much of a difference right away as we get the cleanup going. Alright, well, uThermal will not be able to do much, and with Roaches out, Lings producing across the map, we begin to go. I'm going to be having a pretty sizable group of Roaches arriving on the other side. Now, there is a bunker up. There is not a full wall off, though, as we do kill the initial Ravager pretty early, so puts this into immediately kind of an interesting little question mark of what the heck is actually about to go down? What is about to happen here? It's a fairly reasonable question, I feel like. We'll be seeing the Roachling moving around, and I see this orbital moving out as well. It's going to come and join up over here, and there's going to be a little Hellion drop trying to go in. So in the end, Rattata doesn't get much done. He does sit ahead, 16 workers or so coming out of all this. uThermal being scared a little bit. Again, coming off of that CC that got cancelled early. He does have 3 bases now. One thing I worry about for Rattata is he's got the lair. He's going to start aspiring to Roach speed now. I was going to say, at some point, you got to start upgrades and start that tech rolling in. And like I just mentioned, just start to do that in those last few moments, it seems. So we continue up, and just going to be seeing a few drones do go down. Nicely played from uThermal to get a bit of damage out across the map. It's always going to help a little bit. Definitely a nice little move to be making. Stimming in, going to be doing a little bit more damage again. Just going to be continuing backwards and forwards here. Just seeing our Marines coming through, grabbing a Queen. And just going to be seeing uThermal stimming in on this left-hand side. I mean, this is why these Roaches are not as good against this drop play, where uThermal can be very active, moving around the map, and just, in general, finding himself a lot of opportunities to perhaps get damage done and put himself into a good position. These Marines will continue through. A couple extra creep teamers will be going down already. And just going to be seeing those Marines now starting to pull out to the upper left. So they begin to pull away as our Roach Ravager otherwise goes and jumps on a group of rocks. And doesn't quite finish cleaning those out. As more Marines show up, and Roach Ravager Force will just push the Medivacs away for the moment, scaring those out of there. So uThermal's pressure will be slowed. Obviously, this Roach Tower was accompanied by Aspire, so we are going to move into Mutalisk. So it's also a reasonable question to ask in terms of how does this continue through. We're going to go into these mutas, and as mutas pop out... As mutas pop out, I mean... I'm really left thinking what this army looks like. I mean, it's Roaches, mutas, they don't really have many upgrades. They're going to have Carapace soon, but no attacking upgrades. The mutas really need to keep uThermal back, because I feel like a push from uThermal could be pretty deadly at this stage of the game, in fact. I feel like a push from uThermal could do very, very well. 6 workers going down. Yeah, still moving out to the far left-hand side. Just going to try and find their way into another base over here, but not really going to find all too much immediately. We've seen our Marines moving forward. The Overlord is taking a little bit more damage, and just going to be having the tanks, the Marines, and Marauders all setting up. Just set on, still pushing through. Here we come with a big run-in of Rattata. He doesn't have main speed yet. Still doesn't have an attack upgrade on this army either. And uThermal is going to get a lot of the mutas on the back end of this. He chose to kind of fight the mutas instead of the Roaches, and I don't mind that decision. He apparently minds his overall setup, though, as Rattata is going to take game 2. uThermal types out GG. And we will go. Right, I'm sure if you guys went and emailed Pepsi with that, they would be no doubt in their minds. They would turn around and be like, Wardy, you are our new sponsorship candidate. Thank you so much. Almost certain. Almost certain that's how it works. Alrighty, guys. In the top right, left-hand side is uThermal, and the bottom right is Rattata here on Centuries Later. This map has this mineral wall-off into the main. Now, this is 200 minerals per patch, so it's really not an aggressive wall-off. It's you mine this out to reinforce your third base on the triangle more easily later into the game. So that's what you can kind of expect there. Guys, I just need a moment to quickly do the map thing on the other screen. So just give me a moment. All right. All right. We just see Hatch Gas and Pool coming down. Nothing too wild at the very start here. In that regard. Looks like a Marine is going to go poke away at the OV a little bit, so it's going to take some damage. It's going to get pushed away. Now down into the center of the map, and away we go with that initially as we get set up here. Overlord will continue towards the center for the moment. We get this ready to rumble. Roach is coming through, so Rattata may be looking to play fairly aggressively here again. Definitely something we've been seeing a good amount from him, so not too surprising. And he's just hanging around on the natural and just going to be seeing them pulling back down. Obviously, Roach is on the way, so it would be nice for uThermal to get the scout on that if at all possible. Get that information and go from there. Once we go with those Roaches, the Hellions, because they're working around the left-hand side, they are not going to see this initial move out, which is obviously far from ideal. That's going to be seeing the Hellions jumping up into the natural here, where they'll get rid of a drone pretty much straight away, so that will go down, and now we will have our other Hellions coming through here. Quite a few of these drones going to get roasted. 7 workers going down, make that 8. Moving up to the top side, Hellions still taking some damage, and well, it's the Roaches that you've got to defend. There's going to be a Liberator, but you're not going to lower the depot here on the right side. So the Woodermine, well, the Liberator will be able to siege up. Woodermine actually does okay, gets a decent shot off. We're going to cancel one Ravager, and we're going to probably build up a Ravager on one of the weaker units now instead. Don't mind that as these Roaches continue through the Lib. Going to get a Roach as well. Nice catch. uThermal, if he can survive this, is going to be in a good spot. The problem is Lib continues to be out of position here, right? It's just got to keep relocating every single time, which is very frustrating to do. But he's going to get the surround in the end, and that is going to be enough to clean up. 6 SCVs go down because he killed workers across the map. He was able to do just fine with this. He was able to make this work out. Let's continue across to the bottom, and just going to be seeing how a couple of queens sitting out the front. Stimpack coming through. Everything else still just settling up at the moment. Oh, yeah, I mean, both players kind of take damage early, and I do like it for uThermal because it does feel like Rattata's in a bit of a spot now where, I mean, he doesn't have a lair yet or anything, so he's definitely low on tech. He's making a ton more Roaches. Looks like he's just going to get ready to go again. uThermal is building a bunker, which gets you hopeful for the idea of being able to defend. That bunker will be done on this high ground in just a couple moments. Factory going to move across to build a reactor. We'll have a second racks onto a reactor as well. Still a Liberator. Moving out around down to the south. One of my firing on Burrows to try and move back after, but doesn't want to lower the wall off, of course. It just lets it die in the end. That was kind of going to be inevitable based on how it was setting up. Roach Ravager trying to come through. The Liberator gets shot down the right side by those corrosive files pretty quickly, so takes that down with pretty much immediate effect. It's a nice little shutdown there, as we are otherwise seeing this continue to press forward. The SCVs and the Bioforce trying to hold on. Now we've got Stim though, and as he Stim into this Roach Ravager army, you can't imagine that it's going to do too well. It's now going to get chased away. I mean, Rattata's all in, man. He's still making Roaches. A few drones have accidentally come across the map. That's not going to aid him in the slightest either, unfortunately. That's not going to help at all. And this does look as though we are really on our way out to an end of this game, guys. So looks like we're gonna have ourselves a uThermal victory, because this position for Rattata is rough. I mean, yeah, okay, drone count is okay, etc. But maybe I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but I do think that a lot of what you're seeing right now is, in terms of the numbers, is just not supported by everything else that's happening. I mean, you look at the rest of the game, right? 1-1 upgrades are about to be done here from uThermal. Combat shields is on the way up. Armory is coming through. Versus Rattata, who has, not even got his lair finished. +1 missiles is just now starting. These are all things which are only just now getting set to go. As the medevacs and Marines I'll try and move out down to this bottom side. Just gonna be having our missile upgrades still coming through here and just seeing the Roach Ravager Queen Force. Can I push it back? But I mean, uThermal should just be able to continue to maintain the lead in this, and especially as Rattata plays Roaches. I mean, Roaches are a unit which you're meant to be playing ahead from. If you're playing behind with Roaches, or from behind with Roaches, you are really not going to have a good time. More so than before. More so than ever before. So that's a kind of a factor to keep in mind as well. That's something else for us to be thinking about here. Not that I want to be super negative, just the way this is turning out to be, unfortunately. Fire Force collects out on the left-hand side, just going to be seeing Roach Ravager looking to defend a 4th base. I mean, uThermal continuing to 2-2 upgrades. What I do like for Rattata is he's going to get the Infestors up, and he's going to get a chance to go into a Hydra Den and then be on Hive Tech. That should give you, well, if nothing else, it's going to give you the best possible opportunity to be alright coming out of this, I suppose. Marines moving out to the right-hand side. A couple throws of bars landing as the medevacs dodging away, and yeah, I really thought uThermal would be able to do more. He still has a huge upgrade lead when he hits 2-2, but will he be able to take advantage of it? He's going to be on what? Only 2 tanks? I think he expected a Ling Bane transition, so he's building mines, and that's obviously not great. Only just now having the tank count rising takes away from his potential power of pushing forward here as well. Maybe Rattata really is going to get away with this, guys. I think he actually might be getting away with this right now. It does possibly seem that way as the Roach Ravager Ling Force makes its way down to the bottom side and just going to be having the army joining up on the left, back to the center. I mean, maxed out at least. Did not think Rattata was going to get here, so yeah. He's going to get rid of a few things. Oh my god, the fungals are huge. Oh, the fungal initially is brutal. I don't think uThermal was expecting Infestors to be up here at all. I don't think he was expecting that in the slightest, in fact, so that definitely isn't a pretty start. That definitely hurts. A little more than you would have liked it to, for sure. It's just going to be seen now the big force of uThermal pushing out once again with tanks as well this time. Now, lurkers are going to be here. Usually I don't like Roaches into lurkers as much because you're already encouraging tank play early. And so with enough tanks initially, you can get strong pushes against the lurkers when they're first coming out. But we've talked about how the tank count has just not been as good this game in general, right? So if the tank count just has not been as good this game in general, then, well, that doesn't necessarily matter quite so much. Well, let's see. And tanks are starting to push on forward here. Going to get a few shots on Roach that moving across. There's a little counter-attack going on the other side. There's a lurker taking a couple shots as well. So we've seen the Viper and the Infestor. The Spellcasters will have a big role to play. The Wooden Mines apparently got a few shots off initially to help clean this force out. And this Roach Ravager is not doing too much over there. uThermal going to stim forward right now, believing he can get on top of and kill these lurkers. He's not wrong. The spellcasting obviously not quite successful like I was alluding to it needing to be. And, well, uThermal's the one that's going to start killing units off here and killing some workers. He's going to have to back away now. Units getting low, just a few tanks left as the backup plan for the moment. Tanks will hold this position as a handful of drones are still just coming through in the end. Rattata has enough. Apparently uThermal can't hold on, can't keep it going, and honestly, I'm a little bit surprised. I really thought uThermal had this game based on the initial defense and the position he was in, the lack of tech from Rattata, but